Tonight, this fake ad of a Haitian immigrant saying he voted multiple times is still all over Elon Musk's social media site. It's nearly 24 hours after the Georgia Republican Secretary of State told Musk to remove the debunked video, which is the product of a Russian disinformation campaign. The driver's license that you see in this still frame of the video, we're obviously not going to show you the video, but this driver's license even uses a stock image for the person's picture. Tonight, a spokesperson for X tells us that the site is taking action against posts containing the video. However, they are still all over the site at this hour, with new posts still going up. Out front now, the Georgia Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. And Secretary Raffensperger, I'm glad to speak with you again. As we said, in inning one of 9 here on this election. But that video is still all over X, despite 2 hours ago they told us that they were going to be taking action. By the way, that was 20 hours after you asked them to take it down. What is your message to Elon Musk tonight?
Well, my message is really to everyone that has these social media sites to make sure you have the facts and really check it out. I believe in freedom of the press and freedom of speech, but we looked at it and very quickly we realized it was fake. And then very quickly we came to the conclusion it's probably came from a Russian origin. Today, CISA, Department of Homeland Security, confirmed that it was, came from Russia. But there aren't people don't come here and get papers, citizenship papers in 6 months. And in Georgia, we have a robust citizenship verification, and you don't get your driver's license. You certainly don't get 2 driver's licenses with the same name. So we knew it just didn't smell right. So we checked it out, came to a conclusion real quick. So we responded very quickly, on Twitter, and then also with a press release just to let people know it's fake. Don't fall for it. Because in effect, what people want to do, these nation-state actors, is really get us fighting among ourselves.
Yep.
We got enough that splits us. We don't need to have the Russians or other bad actors try and split us further.
So this was a week after the intel community had said that a phony video showing fraud in Pennsylvania was just that, was phony, and that also had come from Russia. I mean, Secretary, how widespread do you believe, and you talk about state actors, I understand you're using a plural there, but I'm talking specifically about Russia. How widespread do you think the Russian interference is?
We expect further interference and disinformation and just making up stuff that gets us arguing with each other or starting these wild conspiracy theories. We've got some reports from CISA and other DHS. They've sent us some notices and just things to expect. And so we're fully prepared. We have been. We already had a DDoS attack, 420,000 pings came to our website. That would be on Monday, October 14th. And we very quickly, saw what it was and quickly, disengaged. We added a little, interface that said, I am a human, I am not a robot. And they had to press that, and that got rid of all those bots that were pinging us. But the thing is, we were expecting it, we prepared for it, but you can never prepare enough because it seems like they never sleep. They got very clever minds, and they're very devious people just trying to upset us.
Yeah.
They probably don't like us supporting Ukraine, and they just want to take a shot at us.
Right.
And we can't let them.
Yeah. No, I am
that.
curious. When you reach out to Twitter, do you feel like they're listening? I mean, I understand once a video is out there, it is very hard to shut it down. You're playing whack-a-mole, so I understand that. But more than 20 hours after you had requested them take it down, it's your state, you'd said it was fake. They still hadn't taken any kind of action. When we called them, they said they were then going to, although we still see it everywhere. Do you think they're listening? Do you think Elon Musk is listening? He didn't retweet this one, although he has other conspiracy theories, which turned out to be inaccurate.
Well, I would hope that they would. He obviously is a very bright fellow. I guess he's a genius. If you look at what he's done with EVs and rockets, and I'm sure he can figure this out to take down something if he really truly believed it needed to come down. And so we are going to be very respectful, but we're also going to be very proactive, and we're going to hit back hard when we see disinformation, misinformation, outright lying from any actor, both foreign and domestic. We want people to understand, hear what the facts are. Come to draw your own conclusions based on the facts, not by stuff that's just made up.
So I want to talk about where we are right now. Next week, it was so close with the election. In 2020, it was so close in Georgia. All right, we all know the phone call. I hope everyone's read your book and the transcript of the phone call, the whole thing, right? A hand recount was required. It took 16 days for you to be able to make the final formal call for Georgia after Election Day. 16 days. Do you expect anything like that this time around? Or do you think that it's fair to say Georgia's going to be in they're going to make a pretty quick call category?
It depends how close it is. What we have done is, first of all, on Tuesday, we have our new electronic poll pads, which we've been using this election. That's why the lines are moving so quickly. So the lines will move quickly. By state law, lines have to be shorter than 1 hour on election day. But also, all this early voting that you've seen, that 65%, that has to all be reported no later than 1 hour after the polls close, primarily at 7 p.m. So by 8 p.m., 65 to 70% of all the vote totals will be reported, who voted for who. And then the people that voted absentee, that we've received that, we've accepted it, that'll all be tabulated, ready for report no later than 8 p.m. also. So that's 70 to 75%. The other 25% that happens on Tuesday during the election day, that's going to be reported with constant uploads and upfeeds, starting probably, my guess is 7:30, you might start seeing something, but no later than 8, and it'll continue on through the night. And by no later than the end of the evening, you're going to see all the results. But we think many of the smaller counties will be done by 10 o'clock, 10:30 at the latest. And so you'll have a good idea, but before the end of the night, all of that will be reported. Only thing we'll be waiting on is they have these absentee ballots that come in over the weekend that aren't handled, and also the overseas ballots. Federal law allows those to be accepted up until Friday. We'll just have to see how many of those federal ballots we get in by Friday, how many outstanding absentee ballots, a few thousand there, and what is the difference between the top vote getter and the number 2 vote getter. And that'll give you your answer pretty quick.
Where you can, which is, and so you said really is all about the margin. You could know election night, or you could have to wait a few days. Today is the last day to vote early. And I know that it has been a wonderful thing to see what's happened in Georgia. Record after record after record broken. Nearly 4 million people have already voted. If you compare that to your total number of votes in 2020, that's 80%. Now, do you expect to just shatter the overall records in terms of your turnout? We're saying, 80% of what happened in 2020. Do you think you're going to do significantly better than that?
For some reason, I think we will, because actually on 2020, the turnout we had on election day was under 800,000. And we were actually disappointed. We expected it to be 1.1 to 1.3 million. And if that happens, then we'll be all over 5.3 million. We actually just went over 4 million. It's not uploaded to our data hub yet, but I got a feedback before I got on your show. And so we'll be uploading that and get that, but we'll be over 4 million in the next hour or so once we get that all uploaded to our website, Georgia Data Hub.